Hello, Lions fans. We're checking in with head men's and women's soccer coach Danny Longo as we are halfway through the 2014 seasons. Danny, thanks for taking a few minutes to discuss your season with us. And let's jump right into the men's squad. Coach, the men's team is currently 3-1 in conference and sit in third place in the standings. What does the team have to do the rest of the way to get into the playoffs?
I think we just need to be consistent. We've worked hard, have a great group of kids, like I told you in the beginning of the year. I said talent probably wasn't as good as we've been in the past, but we would probably win more games, and fortunately so far that's worked. We have a big one coming up this week against New York Tech, who sits in first place. And, at this point, if we get a result on Saturday, we'll be sitting pretty. But we have quite a few teams below us at this point that we're playing as well. And I think if we just do, we just do our part and win our home games, I think we'll have a good chance of making the conference playoffs.
All right, great. And which of your players do you see as having the biggest surprise season so far on the men's side?
Surprise season? Not that I didn't think Hamza Ilatmani would have a good season, but last year, he was just another player on the team, where now he's one of our leaders and our offensive, firepower a little bit. He gets us going moving forward. And then the one kid that, not that it's a surprise either, is Steven Jimenez, but he had missed quite a few. Yeah, he missed the last 2 years due to injury, and now he's back and really has held us together in the back, which has helped us, be victorious so far.
You just mentioned Hamza. What about the three other seniors on your squad? Can you talk about them and what they've meant to this team so far? They've had such a big impact. Justin Cork, Joey Pinto, and Dane Levy.
Oh, they're just those three kids. They're our captains, and they're the three guys that make us tick throughout. Joey, I constantly bother, whether it's text message, reaching out to him about this question or the other. He's come up with 2 huge free kicks this year. One this past Saturday against Dowling, which was one of the best goals I've ever seen, with 6 minutes to go to win it. And he had the free kick with 4 minutes to go against LIU Post to win that game as well. So he's been tremendous. Justin Cork, to me, is the best goalkeeper in the league. So far, from the teams that I've seen, I think he's by far the best keeper in the league. I think he's been there for a long time and hasn't gotten recognized, maybe because we've had a couple other good keepers as well. But I would like to think that this year he'll be the, goalkeeper of the year. And then Dane Levy has just been a 4-year consistent starter. Everything he does right. He's a great student. He's a great kid. He works his tail off. Without those 3 kids, we would really struggle. Those kids are the leaders of this team.
And the last question, Coach, for the men's side. Only 2 home games remain and 6 road games. What are you telling your guys as the road to the playoffs will have to be earned away from Skelos?
We just need to be consistent, the same as I said earlier. The 2 that we need to win at home will be Roberts Wesleyan and Damon, which is homecoming weekend, so we hopefully can get those, and that puts us at 5 wins right there in the conference. And then we have quite a few games on the road, but we need to, you need to get points on the road. So whether it's a tie or a win, we can't go there and not get any points. We need to get points on the road. And it starts, like I said, this weekend. If we could somehow get points against New York Tech this coming Saturday, even though we're shorthanded, we got some guys that are injured, you got to deal with it. If we get some points this weekend, I really think that we'll be sitting pretty.
All right, Coach, thanks for that. Now, just a couple questions for the women's side. Paige Salmon has had a nice rookie campaign so far. Did you know prior to the season that she'd be in a platoon with Nicole Della Porta?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We thought that she would come in and push Nikki, and she definitely has. Early on, they split time. Then Paige ended up, not winning the job, but basically got more of the minutes. And then Nikki got a couple of games, and now they're back to splitting. Obviously, our record isn't what we want it to be, but I don't think it has anything to do with either of them in goal. I think the 2 of them have been tremendous. But to answer your question, there's no doubt that we expected Paige to push Nikki as a freshman.
How much have the sophomores grown from last year? Just to name a few of them. Gianna Genosa, Danny Valente, Jessica Malone, Gabby Batista, Courtney Noakes, they're all starters. So many of them are key contributors on this team. Can you just talk about their growth from their rookie season?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, we played the other night, and we had 5 against Philadelphia. We had 5 sophomores that started for us. And if Paige was in goal, that would have been 6 underclassmen. We knew last year that they were going to be good, and we were going to take a couple of bumps. So last year we started 3 of them defending. So we had Gianna to start the game to start the year, Courtney and Gabby all as defenders. Just, we didn't have Annette Mims, but we had 3 freshman starters. So they all grew by playing. Even though we struggled wins wise, they all got a lot better. And then this year, I mean, they've made a huge jump. I don't really understand how we are 1-7-1 at this point with our record, because I do think that this year we are a lot more competitive than we've ever been, and a lot has to do with those 5 sophomores.
All right, Danny, last question for you today. As of today, the women's team sits 2 games out of the final ECC playoff spot. There are 6 games left, including 3 home matches. What does your women's team need to do to get into the postseason?
But we need a little bit of help, a little bit of luck. But I do think, looking at our schedule, you don't want to say you're the favorite or you're this or you're that. But I do think with most of the games left on our schedule, we have a good chance of winning those games. It's tough to say when we don't score many goals. But talent-wise, I think we're as good as most of the teams will be playing. But what we need to do, we need to win out. I mean, we have Roberts Wesleyan and Damon at home for homecoming, just like the men do. We have Tech this weekend is a big one. We have Stack on the road. And then we have Bridgeport on the road to end the season.